Hi everybody, it's Laura with Vent Buddies. Thanks for tuning in. I am having a hard time talking today. It's a down day for me. As you know, I have fibromyalgia. I'm coming to you from my bed because some days I can't leave it, and looks like today's going to be one of them. I wanted to talk about the top 10 issues that I've seen people with fibromyalgia have on different Facebook groups, on just different support groups. I have to say, I was diagnosed about 2 years ago, and I had no idea what was wrong with me. You know, when you go to a doctor, they tend to tell you, it's nothing, or it's aches and pains, or you're belittled, and come to find out that it wasn't nothing, that you have a disorder and that it's real. And it's a funny disorder because it's invisible and people think you're fine and what's wrong, and some days you're a little better than you are other days. Some days you can't function at all. And basically what it is it's from what they understand, it's a central nervous system disorder. It can come unexpectedly. It could come after an injury. It can come after some sort of traumatic experience. Basically, your central nervous system starts misbehaving in ways that you can't even comprehend. And it just blows my mind how many people have this. I've been in several fibromyalgia groups, and one group alone has over 80,000 people in it, and it's a huge problem that isn't getting enough medical acknowledgement and attention and maybe research. And hopefully by talking about this and having your comments and having you participate in this discussion, if you've never heard of fibromyalgia before, or you've heard the name but don't know what it is, stay tuned, because we're going to talk about this a little bit further. I was really grateful and lucky to have me reach out to several people in my Facebook. There was a time during this disorder that I was so isolated, I was even begging in my fibromyalgia group for some Facebook friends, because I was so alone in this and I didn't understand what was going on. In one day I had over 200 or 300 people become my Facebook friends, which I will never forget. That 24-hour period, how many people reached out to me in my state of distress and being alone in this disorder. And again, I reached out to my group, and they have responded unbelievably in giving me comments and thoughts on the top 10 that I'm going to be listing. And please forgive me if I leave anything out. This is such a random disorder in that it can affect anything from your teeth falling out to itching to all kinds of extra things. But I'm going to try to nail down the top 10 that I heard repeatedly from people of what they have experienced in this disorder. And so if you know nothing about fibromyalgia disorder, please stay tuned to this, because it will give you some insight. And you might get it one day, you might know a loved one who gets it one day, and just to be informed about what this actually is. So thank you for hanging in there. I guess it's a good place to start at number one, which is the pain. And I have to go into this just a little bit because it's not just one kind of pain. I've heard different kinds of pain from so many different people. Anything from shooting pain to severe pain in the joints to anywhere that you injure yourself, it doesn't seem to heal. So you've got pain, chronic pain in multiple areas. If you've got anything from plantar fasciitis, which I have, foot pain, that won't heal. It just constantly is painful when you walk. Just to describe it a little bit, like for myself, like for example, if I have to get up, which is pretty often, to go to the washroom in the middle of the night, once you've been resting for a little bit, the pain to try to get back up sometimes is so extreme that your legs will buckle from underneath you, and you can't hold your own weight or pick yourself up. It can become so debilitating that it's undescribable. And doctors can explain to people that, oh, you're having some aches and pains, when any one of us with fibromyalgia who's had it severe enough knows that it can be so completely debilitating. So in terms of types of pain, it can be shooting pain, cramping pain, burning, itching. And it can be completely all over your entire body. There's several trigger points that doctors figure out on your body that they nail to see if you have the disorder. Diagnosis is difficult to get, and many people go years before getting a diagnosis. So if that might be you, if you think any of these symptoms sound like you, maybe you should go to a doctor and ask for a fibromyalgia screening to see if you actually have the disorder. Tomorrow, I'm going to come back with some fibromyalgia relief solutions to kind of take the pain down, or ideas that I've gotten or I'm going to ask people to give me for what has helped fibromyalgia, because there's several techniques that people are using. But for today, we're going to talk about the issues. So number one was pain. Number two, I'm going to say gastro issues, which can be anything from constipation to diarrhea to stomach cramping. Anything gastro is affected because it's part of, everything's attached to your central nervous system. So it's been very brutal for a lot of people. You can only imagine. So it's not just the pain itself. Number three is, sorry, I wanted to add in to gastro, I guess could be included is peeing too much, or you have to go to the washroom way more than a normal person who has fibro. It's even hard for me to talk today because of pain levels and other issues that have come throughout the night, like insomnia. Haven't been able to sleep, but we're coming to that. Why don't we talk about brain fog, because that's what I'm experiencing. So why don't we say number three is brain fog. Brain fog comes as part of the disorder. It also comes kind of as a side effect of not sleeping, which is what I'm experiencing right now. And it's hard to talk, it's hard to think, it's hard to put things in order. If you would ask me my address and phone number right now, I could not give it to you. If you asked me to do something with my hands that takes coordination, I wouldn't be able to do it for you. I apologize. You see, getting words in order is difficult. So when this comes on, it comes on and it affects everything, including how your brain operates. Number four, I hope I don't start crying to say this, is mental health issues. The amount of depression and anxiety that coincide with this, it comes again from both the physical aspects of this disorder and the fact that you're in pain so much, and having all these other issues can definitely create mental health issues, and the depression that comes along with it, inability to get yourself even showered, do basic function things, cook for yourself. These are really brutal. It's a brutal disorder, and you could see it's hard for me to form words. Thank you for hanging in there with me. This is a bit of a long list. I know it's hard to get through, but important to cover as many of these as we can. Along with the mental health issues, I wanted to mention the anxiety as well, because your central nervous system's affected, so your anxiety can ramp up really high. It can create panic attacks. You can't stand in line and wait for groceries because you might get into a panic attack during that time. If your pain levels rise up, it can throw a panic attack into play. There's so many things that interface with this disorder that it's seemingly countless. I think we're on 5. So 5, coordination issues. There can be major dizziness, lightheadedness, coordination, trying to put the tube of toothpaste onto your toothbrush, trying to chop, trying to cook, tie, mix. Again, it affects your central nervous system, so it can really nail all of those coordination issues. Number 6, migraines. I'm severely affected by this. I'm going to get Botox injections. I've tried everything from new medications to Emgality to Tylenol 3 to triptans to everything, and nothing seems to relieve it. The migraines can wake me up in the middle of the night. When they come on, they can come on and last for days and days on end. I can get flickering lights and things like that, which is aura, along with the migraines, and they interplay again with the central nervous system, and migraines alone make it almost impossible to function, and sometimes completely impossible to function. And so that's just a huge one to mention, is the migraine. This is ironic because I have to turn the lights on for this channel, and so I'm going to hit number 7, I believe. I hope this is right. Is sensitivity to light and sound, and therefore it makes it very difficult, along with the migraines, and when you even don't have migraines, to have this bright light on you. It's almost painful to experience. Sometimes it is actually painful, and have to leave yourself in a dark, quiet room because too much movement, activity, sound overwhelms the nervous system, and it's intolerable. And as I said, sound, they do a test alarm on the fire alarm, and that noise is just, it's unbearable right now. Number 8, I mentioned insomnia, and it is brutal. Anything from not being able to fall asleep, not being able to stay asleep, waking up way too early. And again, because your central nervous system's affected, your body can't go into proper restorative sleep. So you're tired, you feel fatigue, you feel exhausted, can't function day to day. It is, I think, one of the worst. Even, I don't know, there's so many bad things, but just dying to get that sleep and being so tired and just not being able to fall into any sort of sleep, it's simply brutal. And when you're having all these other issues along with it, it actually affects your sleep. So pain does, gastro does, migraines do, so they all interplay with each other. I feel so sorry for everybody with fibro, because I know that sleep is one of their biggest complaints. I'm not sure what number we're on. I'm going to guess number 9. If I get these numbers wrong, again, I'm so sorry. Hard time lifting things, functioning in general, brushing your hair, having a bath, getting dressed, even sitting on the toilet. Brutal. Those are just basic functioning things. So having to be able to lift anything, lift your arm, lift your bag, lift anything is really difficult. Your body can't handle the extra weight. And number 10, finally, I'm going to say, certainly by no means does everybody have weight issues, but I'm going to put it in there as one, because having fibromyalgia, if you have an inability to exercise is extremely difficult. Stretching for some people is absolutely the best they can do, and the more you move, for some people it helps them, and for some people it's intolerable. So exercise, I think, is definitely an important mention, and I might as well throw in diet in there as a kind of a tie-in. People with fibromyalgia have such difficulty with food, And me personally, I had to move all the way to a vegan keto diet because food's intolerable to certain, so hard to talk. Your body becomes unable to handle many foods. Sugars are the worst by far. Alcohol, anything that is inflammatory, anything that creates allergies or insensitivities. It will flare the pain. It also flares the gastro issues. So what you eat is just so vitally important, and you have to cater to this disorder. You can no longer just enjoy food and eat whatever you want. So this has been a little longer video. I'm sorry about that. It's hard for me to form words and to talk, and it's going to be a bit of a rough day, and I'm going to do my best to get through it and prepare for tomorrow, where we're going to talk about maybe some solutions and things that can take the edge off. And hoping that you guys like this video, subscribe, and if any of you are in my Facebook group, I encourage you to talk to me about any of your solutions. If you have any ideas to solutions out there who are watching this, please put them in the comments, because everybody can use all the advice they can get with this disorder. And let's pray that they come up with some sort of better treatment and better understanding of it, because it certainly is one of those mystery disorders where they don't have enough research on it. Thanks for joining, and I hope you guys all take care of yourselves and learned a little bit more about this disorder, or at least maybe can relate. Thanks. Bye-bye.